Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. And coming in from the West Coast. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Stephanie Meyer sucks. She sucks. Sorry, we had to not record for 2 weeks. Surprise! I went and interviewed Stephanie Meyer over in Seattle. So we got that for you. Anyways, welcome back to Twilight Noobs, New Moon Edition. I am Eric, and my host, I'm the co-host technically, the host, Jason. How do you do?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Anyways, yeah, so I interviewed Stephanie Meyer. We should probably play that real quick. That way we can get that out of the way because it was a crap interview. And where's the play button? And play. Hi, so Stephanie Meyer. I'm Eric from Twilight Noob. What's it called? Noob Moon. No, what are we calling it? Twilight Noobs. That's it. Sorry, Stephanie Meyer. Yeah, so I just have one question for you. Why did you write this book so terribly?
Well, you see, Eric, I read the first book. I just really destroyed the audience's hope, and I made them believe that it was going to be such a great book, and then the climax was trash. So I decided, why not do it for book 2 as well?
Sorry to laugh at you, Stephanie Meyer, but I just gotta ask, is that your real voice? Is that actually how you were born?
No, but I've had some surgeries done from...
Surgeries?
Yeah, I used the money from the books, and people didn't like my voice before, but they said that my voice is so much prettier now.
Wow, such a quality interview. Thanks for stopping by, Stephanie Meyer. I hope to never talk to you again. So yeah, we're back. That was my interview with Stephanie Meyer. Pretty bad, wouldn't you say, Jason? It wasn't the questions that were bad. It was just Stephanie Meyer that was bad,
Okay,
right?
but the best part about it was the beginning of your interview when you couldn't even think of the name of what
This is
like,
true.
Us.
I know.
Or Twilight
Her
News.
aura is that
So-
bad. Like, being in the room with her makes you have a bad start and ending. It's just what happens when you're next to Stephanie Meyer.
I don't know about her voice. I don't know who was telling her they like her voice now the way it is. I don't know. I can't imagine how her voice was before. It must have been just awful.
It was probably just the surgeon. The surgeon was like, "Yep, that sounds terrible, but I don't want to have her take my money." So, yeah, it sounds great. That's probably what happened. So yeah, anyways, I went to Costco, got a whole thing of M&Ms for $10, so I got those. And then I got some Henry Weinhard soda again, right next to me. So I am ready to go for this this book review, the climax, the season finale.
Yeah, this is the end of book 2. We're finally getting there.
And I have to pay $5 because my book is overdue.
Oh, nice.
So there's that.
Yeah, we missed a week there. So apologies to everybody.
Like I said, Stephanie Meyer takes up a lot of time. Can you believe that interview took 2 weeks to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was kind of a short interview. Did you play the whole thing?
Yeah.
I was hoping there was gonna be like some other part to it or something, but
No, that took 2 weeks. That was literally nonstop, almost 8 hours a day of recording.
Are you sure there's no other part to that interview?
Okay. Anyways.
Wink,
Maybe there is a second part. It was just extra bad, so I decided to leave it out. Okay? Gosh.
Okay. Maybe
Pressure,
we'll play
man.
that part
Pressure.
later.
No. I don't want to. Maybe I do, secretly. Never mind.
All
Chapter
right.
24.
Let's get into it. The
vote.
final chapter and epilogue of book 2. Let's do this. All right. So, if you remember, if we left off, it was a long time ago, so maybe you don't remember. But Bella threatened Edward and said, "Hey, we're going to your house, and we're going to have a vote of whether or not I'm going to become a vampire." So
That's right.
she's like storming off, like she was walking out of the house, like she was ready to go. So we go right into that here in chapter 24, and we start off with Edward picks up Bella and is like, all right, like, let's go to the house then. And so like he puts her on piggyback style, spider monkey style again, just spider like monkey. The good old days in book 1.
I like how she thinks it's happened so often that she like remembers how to do it. Didn't she like do it twice
that we know of? I'm sure they did it a lot. It's just like
she's just constantly hanging out on his back.
Yeah, I'm assuming they did it a lot. I still think the way that she's being carried is stupid. I think it should be more of a fireman, like more, you know, in the front type of thing. It's way more romantic. A piggyback ride.
A fireman carries over the shoulder.
Oh, that's right. I mean, like a cradle. Is that what you call it? Like just
like a Shrek. He's just Shrekking her the whole way there. Do you remember Princess Fiona? He like throws her over the shoulder. I'm trying to remember.
No, it's just like in front. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, where you, like, walking the bride through the threshold.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. That kind of carry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Under the arm.
And under the...
Arms over the shoulders and the neck.
Yeah.
Got it.
I feel like that's just like, you know what I mean? Like, and she can wrap
that should be the go-to
around his neck. Yeah, like, I think that would just be like, whoo, you know, but whatever.
Maybe there's some kind of aerodynamic positivity and benefit for her to just be on the back.
Maybe it would just break her neck, like, because her neck would be, like, kind of off to the side, and, like, the pressure would be, like, pushing it, but I don't know. Anyways.
This is true.
Too bad she didn't do that. But, okay, so, she's like, you know what, though? It's, like, kind of like riding a bicycle. It's been a while, but you kind of just pick up on it. It's something you haven't, you know, you don't forget.
Here's the bad part in the... She's not doing anything.
Yeah, she's not doing anything. So it's not like riding.
She probably isn't even holding on. Edward's probably like just like got his arms wrapped around her backwards, like all poltergeist style. Just anyway.
But so they're just running off at this point towards the Colin's house. It's during the night, and I don't know. It's just like I think she's starting to remember just like all those past feelings, and she like misses it, you know, like this is like, I don't know. It just feels familiar and it feels good. It feels comforting and like, to be back in this, just position and being with Edward again. So, she then goes, I think while they're still running, he says, "Thank you." After she like presses her lips against his neck, and Edward's like, "Does that mean you've decided you're awake?" And basically, like, they start talking about trust and just what I don't know. They're just trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future with this whole vampire thing and the whole Volturi thing.
Volturi.
So Bella says, "I trust you, but I don't trust myself." So Edward says, "Explain that, please." And that's exactly, the voice was a little terrible, but you're right on the track there. I don't trust myself.
I don't deserve you. Is that better?
Well, is that Stephanie Meyer?
It is. She's back. I forgot to tell you, the interview is still going on. She's right here next to me.
Oh. All right.
Anyway. Oh, I just noticed something. Edward he stopped and reached around to pull me from his back. His gentle hands did not release me. He apparently just like pulled her off like a backpack or like some kind of weird back holstered weapon. He just like pulls her off and sets her down in front of him.
It's probably like,
man, it's awkward.
For him, it's probably like riding a bicycle too. He probably did that every time.
I get the feeling Edward likes it.
Edward's kind of a weirdo. He's probably into weird things.
He's 110 years old dating an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Something tells me you gotta be a little weird to do something like that.
He then says, "Your hold is permanent and unbreakable. Never doubt that." And it's like that whole thing again where they keep just like we get this every time they're together. It's just like I'm not good enough for you, but I love you. Like, oh, like, promise you'll never leave. Oh, like, why can't I be good enough for you? Oh, you're so good. Like, you don't even know. It's like every time they're together, this is all we get. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. It's just so if you're into that kind of stuff, then
This book is for you. The ending, at least.
You.
Hope you enjoy it.
So then we kind of find out something here, which is kind of like I find it. I don't know. For some reason, it's weird to me. I don't know what you thought about this part was, but so Bella says, "Can I have my stuff back?"
Oh yeah.
And he says, "Your things were never gone. I knew it was wrong since I promised you peace without reminders. It was stupid and childish, but I wanted to leave something of myself with you. So all of your stuff is under your floorboards." And
surprise,
like I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
I honestly didn't think too much about it because I was like, oh, they were always there. Big freaking deal. She never would have looked under the floorboard anyway. Probably has no idea that her floorboards are removable.
well, he probably just removed them. He probably just ripped them out. But
exactly. But why the heck would she be able to do that? Why would she go looking under the rippable floorboards?
I don't think he thought she was gonna look underneath them. But I just don't understand.
That's why I don't think much of it because nothing was gonna happen.
I just don't understand why he just didn't take them with him. I don't know.
Because he wanted to leave something behind.
Yeah, but leave like one thing underneath the floorboard or something. Like, I don't know.
A picture.
I just don't know. Anyways,
50 years from the future, someone demolishes the house after Charlie gets incarcerated because he was dealing drugs illegally. And then they demolish the house and they find a picture of Edward, and then the construction worker just looks up and says, "I knew it."
No, if Charlie was going to die of anything...
It's Mike. It's Mike the whole time.
Oh.
Mike's the construction worker.
I was going to say, if Charlie dies of anything, it's going to be of a broken heart because he lost his wife and then he lost his daughter. So he's probably
And then he lost his granddaughter.
Yeah, he'd probably pull the trigger on himself. Let's just be honest.
Bye head.
Yeah. It's sad, but I don't know.
He had a good mustache.
Yeah. So yeah, he wouldn't do it. That mustache
probably not.
Is too precious.
Well, the mustache would probably absorb half of the blow. He might just lose the mustache. Like, whoa! That was a close one.
I'll protect you.
Throws his face in front of everybody's bullets. The golden mustache. Sorry.
Anyways, so we get into the part where they're not
talking
running
about voices
anymore. Yeah, they're talking about the voices now, but they're not running anymore. They're just walking. They're getting closer to the house, and Bella mentions the voices thing. So if we remember whenever she did something dangerous, she would hear Edward's voice. And Edward was kind of confused by this, voices, you had voices in your head, what's going on? She then explains oh, it was just one voice. It's a long story. And, she starts to think maybe I shouldn't have brought this up, but it's just too long of a story. Edward says, "I've got time," which he does, which is kind of a stupid thing. Cause he's saying I've got time, but Bella doesn't. If you really think about it, you know what I mean? He's got time, but she doesn't. And I think Edward is honestly being really dumb. I can't believe that he doesn't want to change her.
Right.
It's I can't think of the only argument for not turning her is basically to save her soul.
Right.
But
that's all he really wants.
But
for her to be alive.
She's gotta have a say in this though. You know what I mean?
She does have a say.
It's gotta be it's her decision, I feel like. I don't know.
Well, he has part of the control too, because what if he doesn't want to be with a vampire? She can't force himself on him. Let's say she turns into a vampire, all of a sudden he doesn't like her anymore. He's trying to warn her. Look, I got a thing for humans, not vamps.
But it's just if that's the case, then he hasn't. They've already explained that this is the first time he's felt this way about anybody, and wouldn't you want to hold on to that forever? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, like, oh, you're 90 years old and I'm 17. Like, all right, well, see you later, you know? And it's like, then she's gone. Yeah, and it's like, all right, let's find someone else. I don't know. It's like, it's just, the whole thing just is stupid. Like, I get what he's saying, but it's dumb.
Yeah. I think we all agree at that.
I'm totally Team Jacob.
He has nothing to do with the story anymore.
He had nothing to do with the story. Like, you could take the first 3 chapters or whatever it was, the first 2 chapters. I don't know, like,
right, and then her going
Edward
cliff jumping.
leaves, then you could take out the whole middle part and
completely pointless,
and then just take the last like 3 chapters, and it's a book, and it's only 50 pages long. Like, it's
we learn about the werewolf and his friends, and then the werewolf's leader's wife, who's got a messed up face, and then nothing.
Like,
there's
none of the
absolutely
information.
no reason. Nobody died.
It doesn't matter, but like, well, Harry did,
but, not intentionally.
But like, so
the
like,
dude had too much Carl's Jr. It's not his fault.
She's probably trying to set up the next book, which is like, okay, but like, there had to be something like to tie it together. Like, have Jacob go with you to Paris or something. You have to tie Jacob into the end of this book somehow.
Well, he did.
The treaty part.
The tense moment. Yeah.
Like, that's stupid. It's gotta be like, it had to be something different than this. It just, it doesn't make sense. But basically she goes on to, she explains the whole jumping off a cliff and riding a motorcycle and how she did it because she could hear Edward's voice, and it was like you were standing right next to me, she says. It was just like you were protecting me again. So like, she did it because she missed him. And then she starts to think, I like how she says, like, he starts to like try to talk, like he's like, you were risking your life to hear, and then she's like, shh, hold on a second, I think I'm having an epiphany here. Like, she's just like totally just like, shut up, Edward. And she starts to think about like when the first night in Port Angeles, when Edward saved her from those like dudes that were like going towards her, you know, in the middle of the night, like in the street, whatever. And she starts to think that the reason why I could hear Edward's voice was because Edward loves me. The bond forged between us was not one that could be broken by absence, distance.
You're reading it
time.
wrong.
What? What did I say?
Well, right when she said it, like right when she started saying the bond forged, right when I like halfway through the word forged in my head, it was like this. Watch. The bond forged between us was not one that could be broken by absence, distance, or time.
Oh, jeez.
It just sounds like the Force, dude. And no matter how much more special or beautiful or brilliant or perfect than might be he is.
Might he, yeah, I could see it. I could see a Yoda.
Irreversibly he was, altered was I.
Belong to him, I would.
I would always be mine. Yes.
I could see that, actually, reading that.
Force not funny. Make one. No, love not make one great.
All right, so then he.
You will be.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, I don't know why people can't love Star Wars, dude. It's just so funny. Yoda's there, man. Yoda's
the new ones are garbage, but anyways, that's for a different thing.
No, yeah, I'm talking about the old ones with George Lucas, like the actual ones, the oldest ones.
Yeah.
What's it called? The trilogy?
Yes.
Yeah. With Darth Vader.
Are you gonna keep talking Star Wars? Are we gonna like actually talk here?
I have no idea how to do a podcast still, by the way. I just keep going.
I don't think either of us do. We just I don't know. We're a different kind of podcast, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we have a sponsor and we already interviewed Stephanie Meyer, so we must be doing something right.
Gotta be doing something right. All right. So she says, "You love me." Like that's the epiphany is like, which is I don't know, it's kind of weird, but because I thought she kind of knew that already, but you love me, and that's why I could hear your voice in my head. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting like theory, but I don't know. She's got to know better than I do, I guess. But he says, "Truly, I do." He really did want me the way I wanted him forever. It was only fear for my soul, for the human things he didn't want to take from me that made him so desperate to leave me mortal. But I just feel like that's got to be like something that he's thinking about. But I there's no way that he doesn't want her more than for her soul to be saved. Like I don't know. We kind of talked about that, but I just feel like the other, like, just being with her outweighs that, her soul, which sounds kind of weird, but anyways.
Well, they go over like that the ending when she's like, well, guess what, you contradict yourself, because over there in Italy or wherever they were, Venice, where were they? Italy?
Yeah.
Paris. Voltaire.
Voltaire.
Anyway, she was like, yeah, when you saw me, you thought we were dead, but you obviously have a soul because you thought you were dead.
Yeah.
He's like, oh. You're right.
So Edward goes on to say, "You are better at it than I was, you know." Better at what? Surviving. You at least made an effort. You got up in the morning, tried to be normal for Charlie, followed the pattern of your life. And like Edward, basically, he just almost tried to go and, you know, get himself killed. So, but like at the beginning, Bella had a hardest time. Like she didn't do anything for months. Like remember like the whole like chapters where it was like October, November, December, January. So I don't know. It's just, anyways. So they end up getting to the house. They open the front door, flip on the lights, and she sees the piano and the couches and the staircase. And there's no dust, there's no white sheets, so it makes it feel like probably like a home again. Like the Colons are back. Edward calls out his siblings and Carlisle and Esme's name. Carlisle just appears out of nowhere. I would totally just scare Bella every time. I'd just be like, "Hey," like in her ear, you know, like out of nowhere. And then I think it'd be fun to just totally mess with it. I feel like Emmett would just do that all day. Like I could see
would just
Emmett,
like come from behind and throw her to the moon and then like catch her when she's coming down.
He would grab her and then like run to like Alaska and just like leave her there and just like laugh about it or something. Like I can just totally imagine him just doing the stupidest things. Anyways,
it's like leaves are on top of trees.
Yeah.
Don't move, Bella.
Or you'll die. That's funny.
It's funny.
So Bella says, I want to talk to everyone right now, if that's okay.
Right now?
All right. So they head to the other room, and everyone is just like, boop, out of nowhere there. And they're all around the oval table. Bella's kind of says, like, it's so weird because they never use the table because they don't eat food. So it's just weird to see everyone's just here now. So then we start, and Bella says, I hope Alice told you everything that happened in Volterra, and Alice has. So she says, I have a problem that the Volturi, so they basically promised Volturi that Bella would become a vampire. They're going to send someone to check, and that's got to be something that we need to avoid, so I should become a vampire. And the reason why we're getting all together is because it involves you now, because they're going to come and check and make sure that they did their duty to turn Bella into a vampire. So she's saying, like, you guys have a say in this. It's not just about me and Edward anymore. And then, like, after this, Edward says, hold, before we vote on this, there's one thing that I need to say. he has this idea that he says like there was more than one reason why I didn't want to shake Aro's hand. The Volturi are overconfident. When they decide to find someone, it's not really a problem. So we find out that Dimitri, he can find people. He's like the ultimate, tracker. He's like the ultimate tracker. Like he can just find anyone he wants to. But the problem is Bella, she isn't affected by people's abilities. So Dimitri,
Besides Alice.
Yeah. So Dimitri wouldn't be able to find Bella because we like when Aro was trying to like read her thoughts, or when what's the girl's name that can like torture people?
Oh shoot. I don't know, something like Squirt?
What's her name? This is gonna bug me. Anyways, like how she
Glory.
can torture people. No. And like it didn't work on Bella, so Dimitri's his talent won't work on Bella. The problem with this thing is that they can still find like Edward or Alice. You know what I mean? He can still find them. So his plan is like it could work. The problem is like if he shows up, like I don't think they mention it here, but like I was thinking, yeah, you could do this, but you would have to tell Dimitri that you ate Bella or something, like you killed her. So that way it was just done and over with, like that he would never come back anymore.
Jane,
that's right. So he doesn't mention that here, but I think it's a good idea if when Dimitri does show up, just to be like, hey, like Bella's dead.
She's dead.
Like I couldn't contain myself.
I ate her.
Yeah, exactly. So that could work. It still just leaves the problem of them being together forever. That's the whole issue still, though. So the plan could work and all this stuff, but it really comes down to, but so
not gonna happen.
Bella says, let's vote. Do you want me to join your family? So the first vote is Alice. I can't remember what we said last week, what our prediction was. I think you said they vote no, and I think I said they vote yes. And we were trying to guess like who was going to vote which way. I think I got pretty close to the votes. I think I missed. I think I messed up on one person though, because I thought they were going to say no, but they say yes. But anyways, so Alice says yes. Jasper says yes. Rosalie says no, which I did say that she was going to say no. But Rosalie goes on to say, let me explain. I don't mean that, like, it's just that I wouldn't have chosen this life myself. Like, she wouldn't have chosen to become a vampire. And she says that I wish that there would have been someone there to vote no for me. So this is actually, Rosalie still, like, she's really kind of turning around here. And, being a lot more friendlier to Bella, because that first book she was rough on Bella. Rosalie says no. So far I think I'm right on my prediction. Emmett, yeah, he's super pumped about it. We can find some other way to pick a fight with this Dimitri. Like he's so just like he's looking for a fight with Dimitri and he doesn't even need to. So, I don't know. I said Alice is my favorite Colin. I don't know. Emmett might be getting up there.
Edward's the man. Always
Why
has
are you so... Why do you like Edward so much?
Did I say Edward?
You said Edward.
I meant to say Emmett.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, you said Edward. I was like, why do you like Edward so much?
Because I have headphones and it's hard to talk.
Right. Yeah, Emmett. I don't know. Alice and Emmett so far. I think they're the best. I don't know. Carlisle's cool and everything, but
he's too old.
He's not really
Can't be cool.
I don't know. He's kind of in the books,
medieval.
but he's not. I don't know. Anyways. And then Esme. So I think I said Esme was gonna say no. I think that's what I said, or Carlisle. I can't remember if I said Esme or Carlisle was gonna say no. But they both actually end up saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carlisle says yes. Yeah, so Esme says yes. Of course, I already think you're part of the family, so it's just super nice mom figure there. Edward says no. And Carlisle says it's the only way that makes sense. You've chosen not to live without her, and that doesn't leave me a choice. So, that makes total sense. Carlisle is totally right here. So basically, the vote was what, 5-2, 4-2. How many of them are there? 6 or 7?
Just wrecked.
The only people that say no is Edward and Rosalie. They were the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper just tagged along with Alice because he's got to please the girl.
Smart.
So then this is when Bella's like, all right, let's do it. Where do you want to do this? And Alice says no because she's like, I don't feel
out.
like I'm not prepared for this. Like, I might kill you if I try to do it. And then Bella's like, I trust you. But Alice is kind of like, I don't know about this. So then Bella asks Carlisle, and Carlisle says, I can do it. And you would be totally fine. And Bella's like, all right, sounds good. Let's go. And then this is when Edward tries to make some points. He says,
all right, she's already in trouble.
Oh yeah.
No one's thinking about this.
That's so weird. He says that like we have to wait a little bit because you're still in Charlie's house. You know what I mean? Like you're the pain you're gonna go through and all this stuff. Like it takes like a couple days. Like it can't work right now with Charlie here.
You know what they should do? They should just bite her more than one time. Like bite her in the wrist.
You think that it would go, the transformation would go more quickly? I don't know about that.
Why not?
I think they would know better than you would.
I don't know. How many people have they turned?
Twilight
They always do it with one bite. They've never tried 2 bites, have they?
Maybe it would kill her. I don't know.
You're true. Overdose.
So
no, it's just tormenting.
Basically, Edward says, in the interest of remaining inconspicuous, I suggest that we put this conversation off until Bella finishes high school and moves out of Charlie's house. So this does make sense, because if Bella's going to go through this transformation for a couple days, like, she's just going to be freaking out. Like, where are you going to put her? Like, how are you going to explain that to Charlie? Like, you could maybe be like, you can maybe tell Charlie, like, hey, I'm going to go with the Collins family and we're going to go on this, like, vacation for a few days or something like that. Like, something like that could work, but
that's not the plan.
Yeah. So basically, Bella considers this. So I think it's basically going to be like probably like the end of the next book when she transforms, is my guess.
She's a transformer now.
Yeah. More than meets the eye. I just have a feel like it's got to be like at the end of the next book then, because she's got to graduate, and I'm assuming that's probably going to be the end of the next book. Is like graduation, like Victoria killing Victoria, changing her into a vampire. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but
probably.
So then Edward
Who knows,
goes on,
man.
So then Edward goes on to take Bella home. He like dashes up the wall through the window, like puts.
Is he dashing through the snow?
Dashing through the snow, putting this woman in her window, laying on her bed, and
totally perving out, nah.
breathing in her face.
Hiding in her closet.
Oh no, here comes Charlie with the shotgun. I need to run. Hey. Oh boy.
It's not even the season, man.
Alright, so basically they're just like chilling out now in Bella's room, and Edward says, if you could have anything in the world, anything at all, what would it be? Bella says, you. And he says, something you don't already have. Nice move there, Edward.
Weak.
Bella says, I would want Carlisle not to have to do it. I would want you to change me. So I think I predicted this last time. I think I said something like she would want Edward to do it. It's like kind of like a romantic like gesture or something like that. Edward then tries to like talk her into like waiting a little bit. Like he's like 5 years, and Bella's just not having it. So I honestly think that it's just going to come down to the graduation. Then this is where we get the interesting thing here. Edward kind of messes this up. You have to make one. We got to meet on one condition then for me to turn you into a vampire. Bella says, "What's the condition?" Edward says, "Marry me first." What? Didn't see that one coming. I don't know about you. I didn't see it coming.
No.
I figured they were going to
plan
be.
It out, did he?
I kind of figured they were going to be like that was going to come down later or something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Stephenie Meyer really ruined, like, I don't know what you could make it, like a Kodak moment. I don't know, like out of movies. Like, you know, when Luke Skywalker says, "Nah." Why do I always bring up Star Wars?
I don't know. What's up with you lately? I think, like, are you trying to say that...
really, 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 really famous scenes, you know?
So you think the proposal should have been not so, like...
she could have made it...
Like, it could have been, like, this wonderful, like, crazy thing. Like,
yeah, she really could have thought about it. Like, she really... Like, it would have been timeless, you know? All the girls would be like, "That's how I want Edward," or, you know, the guy to propose to me. Like, doing an Edward-style proposal. Like, she really could have thought about it. But no, she threw it away and made Edward propose like this. It's like on the spot. It's like, what a waste.
"Bella, I just proposed to you and you think it's a joke." And he says, like, "I'm 100% serious." She's like, "I'm only 18. You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm 110. It's time I settled down." Like, oh my gosh, dude. She says that
Let's get on the married train.
Marriage isn't exactly that high on my list of priorities. Which is like... Yeah, I could totally see Bella not really being interested in the whole married thing, especially after Renee and Charlie.
Right.
So, she would rather become a vampire than get married, Edward says, jokingly. He says that I would take you to, like, basically they're like, "Hey, I would take you to Vegas right now, and then I would turn you into a vampire right afterwards." But they're just like, they're just doing the whole flirty thing right now.
Yeah, they're starting that whole thing again. Freaking Twilight.
So I don't think they really agreed on, like, I don't think Bella said anything, right?
She didn't say yes.
I don't think she said yes.
Nope.
He just says, like, "Would this have gone better if I had time to get a ring?" And she says, no rings. And then this is when Charlie, like, I think he must have heard something, and he, like, gets up and, like, he's starting to come over to the bedroom. So Edward hides in the closet. And this is where Charlie, like, this is, like, in the morning. So when they went into the vote, it was, like, in the middle of the night. So it started to become morning. And this is where Charlie basically says, like, "I don't know where you were these last 3 days. Like, you are in trouble, Missy, after all you did and, like, all this stuff." And he's like, "I should just ship you off to Jacksonville, huh? Shouldn't I? Like, what's stopping me from doing that?" And Bella, being the teenager, says, "No, I won't go. You can't make me." Yeah. And she says, like,
"Just 1 minute, young lady." His mustache gets in the way.
Yeah, seriously. She understands that she's in trouble. She says, like, "I'll do the chores, laundry. Like, I know you can ground me for as long as you want. Like, I get it. Like, I was, like, it. I don't know." She's trying to take responsibility for her actions here. He then asks, like, "Where have you been then?" And she says, "Oh, shoot, my computer's about to die."
Is that where you're cutting out?
Maybe. Battery in my lap. This better not die while I'm doing this.
Better plug it in.
Oh, shoot! Let me get the charger.
Dude, better save it. Wow.
All right, what'd you do to distract him?
I've been smacking my lips.
Oh, great. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you can stop that now. Thank you. No, hey! Okay, so... Oh my gosh. Okay. It was nothing, just messing around, swimming with Jake. Anyway, Rosalie told Edward, and he was upset about the whole, like... Basically, she explains to him that she did, like, cliff jumping and, like doing motorcycle stuff, and...
Killer stuff. No, she didn't say motorcycle stuff.
Maybe she didn't say motorcycle, but I'm pretty sure
No, she didn't bring up the motorcycle at all. She just said cliff, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, like, Edward got upset about this, and then she says, like, it sort of made it sound like I was trying to kill myself or something, but I wasn't. Edward wouldn't answer his phone, so Alice dragged me to LA to explain to Edward in person. And then Charlie's like, you were trying to kill yourself, Bella? And then she's like, no, of course not. I was just having fun with Jake, cliff diving. La Push kids do it all the time. I just, wanted to do it myself. And then he's like, so what about this Edward Cullen? Like, are the Cullens back? And she says, I think that they all are, they're back now. And then this is where Charlie, like, says, you stay away from Edward. I don't trust him. He's rotten for you. I won't let him mess you up again like that. So he's trying to be like a good dad here. A little too late, wasn't very good to her, like last book. But anyways, she says fine. And then this is where, like, she says, when I said fine, I meant fine, I'm gonna move out. She's like, me and Edward are a package deal. Like, Edward isn't going anywhere. Like, she's like trying to, like, she's really trying to talk Charlie. Like, she's like, think it over. And while you're doing that, could you give me some privacy? I really need a shower. Like, she's like totally just like bossing Charlie around. Like,
yeah, like she's got his balls or something.
Like, dude, like, Charlie, stand up for yourself here, man.
Seriously. But he feels like he can't do anything because he believes that she actually will leave.
Yeah. But that's kind of like the end of conversation.
He can't chain her to the bed, that's just, he can't do it. Person's free. So I guess he just feels like he has no guns.
Yeah.
Just one for his mustache.
So then, basically, Edward doesn't want her and Charlie to fight. Like, because if you fight, what are you going to do? Are you going to move in with, like, all of us, the vampires, at our house? She says, like, that's probably the safest place for someone like me. Besides, if Charlie kicks me out, there's no need for the graduation deadline, isn't there? So this is like, Edward's like, like, good try, it's not going to work. But basically they do a little flirt again, and I think that's kind of just the plan at this point. Is after graduation she turns into a vampire. It sounds like Edward is going to try to marry her before, so we'll see if that happens. Like, I don't know if she's going to turn into a vampire first, or if she's going to get married first, or even if they're going to get married, because Bella never said yes. Like, there was never a confirmation on it. So I don't know.
You're not supposed to know.
That's
how books work.
Man, we gotta like cruise through this epilogue here. I don't have.
The epilogue isn't that hard.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time.
They're all back in school. Everybody's there, and then all of a sudden, poof, like a fairy. What's his face? Jake is at her house, except he brought a little something with him to surprise her.
He did?
What did he bring, you might ask?
I don't know.
Her motorcycle.
Da-da-da-da.
Surprise. Chuck obviously didn't know, but now he knows. And now he's pissed.
Yeah, this whole time, like, Bella was trying to, like, call him and stuff like that, and he wouldn't answer the phone. Like, he wouldn't go to the phone. And then here he is, like
Getting some vengeance.
shows up after a long time, and, yeah, like you said.
Oh, yeah, she would constantly call when Edward would, like, go home or something real quick. So
Yeah,
she'd
exactly.
call him before he came back in her room. Kind of secretive.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of not.
I think
kind of.
she does.
Not
she
what you're
does,
supposed to do when you're in a relationship. Not gonna lie.
She does care about Jacob, though. I think it really is a friend thing. I just feel like there's got to be more to this in the next book because there's always this Team Jacob, Team Edward thing. So I'm assuming that Jacob, he's got to make some move on Bella, and Bella is kind of like, maybe about it. I can't see, like, what else, like, I don't understand why there's even a Team Jacob. If this is all there is.
Edward has to go on, like, a sleepy sleep for, like, 3 months in a coffin. And then that's when Jacob makes his move.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Okay, fine.
I'm trying to find the part.
Predictions.
Basically, this part is the treaty because they're Edward and Jacob. They start talking, and they basically Jacob goes on to tell Edward, like, hey, you know that there's a treaty, right? Like, you can't bite a human. Like, you can't. That's the deal. Like, you can't turn a human into a vampire. Like, that's the rules. And like Jacob's kind of like against Bella. Like, he does care about Bella, but it's like you chose him. You chose the vampire world over the werewolf world,
and he's mortal enemies with a vampire.
Exactly. Edward then goes on to say, like, thank you. I will never be able to tell you how grateful I am. I owe you for the rest of my existence. And he's talking about just him being there for Bella when he wasn't. And he's grateful for that. You know, he kept Bella alive. He, like, helped her with, like, Victoria and Laurent. Like, Laurent, you know, like, they saved her. If it wasn't for, like, Jacob and the werewolves, like, Bella would be dead right now. And Jacob says, I didn't do it for your benefit, but he says, I know, but it doesn't erase the gratitude I feel. So Edward, he's trying to be, like, thankful to Jacob. The problem is, it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm so grateful for you when you have the girl. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if it was, like, switched
right.
around and Jacob had Bella? Like, I don't think Edward would be saying these things.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, thank you so much for protecting her, like, and as he has, like, his arm around her, like, but, you know what I mean, like, I'm here now, and, like, it's just us two, so you can go. Like, ugh. We're gonna go make out over here. Tongue and all. Maybe not.
Oh,
but
man. All right.
Jeez. Jacob does freak out here a little bit. He starts to spaz a little bit. He, like, his skin even turns like a russet color. Like, he, like, I don't know, it's like he almost like transforms here out of just being super mad about all of, like, this treaty thing and with Bella. He says, like, I would never hurt her. Like, he kind of controls himself and says, like, I would never hurt Bella. And then this is when Charlie is, like, freaking out. He's like, you get into this house right now, Bella. Like, he just, like, knows that Bella's, like, outside and she's not in the room, and he just starts freaking out because she's, like, definitely grounded at this point.
Yeah, she's screwed.
So this is when Edward tries to talk to Jacob about Victoria. He says, like, there's no trace of Victoria on our side of the line. Is there anything on yours? And then Jacob explains how, like, we tightened the circle around her, getting ready to ambush her. Ambush. And she just, like, took off, and there's nothing on our side. So right now we have no idea where Victoria is. We still don't know about those hikers. because I think there we found clothes and stuff, right? But there was never any bodies, so we still don't know what's going on with that. I think that you predicted that she's trying to like turn them into vampires, which
forgot about that.
I think you're
that was
right.
That was a dumb prediction.
No, I think you're right. The more that I think about it, like I think they're trying to build up Victoria a lot here.
Just building an army.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Victoria, she has no chance against the werewolves by herself. She has no chance against the Cullens by herself. Like she might be able to take out one or two, you know what I mean? But they destroyed James, and none of them died, and James was like a tracker, you know. So I think Victoria is stronger than James, but I still think that like she has no chance. So either she's got to be super sneaky about killing Bella, because that's her plan, or she's got to like have this like huge group of people to do it. So
just a horde of vampires.
I feel like that's got to be kind of where the direction goes.
That'd be a great book.
I know. A lot of people say the next book is their favorite. So if that's what happens, then... And we actually get a climax, because these first two books have had no climax and nothing that has to do with the beginning of the book. So if that's what happens in the next book, I can understand why people really like the next book. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. Anyways, Jacob... So Bella says, "Are we still friends?" And Jacob shakes his head slowly. You know how hard I've tried to keep that promise, but I can't see how to keep trying. Not now. He then mouths, "Miss you." And his hand reaches towards her. And that's it. And so she does hug Jacob, but he kind of like pushes her away a little bit. And I don't know, there's just like a bunch of like, it's just Jacob is just super bummed about this decision that Bella made. That's just really what it comes down to. And I am too. I think Jacob's way better for her than Edward. She can be a human this way. And I think Jacob is just like, it's just, he's more like he's someone that could, like, they could be best friends. You know what I mean? Edward is just like that romantic, like, I don't know, but so
I don't know. I feel like Edward and Isabella Swan have got something a little bit more natural.
Yeah.
Because you have to imagine, or you have to understand that she's drawn to Edward way more than she is drawn to Jacob. Yeah. I mean, she has both of them right now. She wants to be with Edward forever. She doesn't want to be with Jacob.
What if Bella, like, let's say Bella came to school now. She came to Fort's, like, right now, and she met Jacob first. Do you think that, like, she would have been close to Jacob in that way? Or do you think that...
Honestly, no. Because she's still older than him.
Yeah, but he's, like, big. You know what I mean?
She's still older.
Yeah, but she would have found out that he's a werewolf and been like...
No, she wouldn't. If she came to school right now?
Yeah, like...
No, she would never find out he's a werewolf.
How? Why not?
Well, first off, she doesn't hang out in La Push. Jacob doesn't go to her school.
Yeah, but but they know each other from the past. Like, he would come over. Right, but
why would she know? How would she find out that he's a werewolf? The only way that first she knew that there were werewolves was because of him, of when they were walking on the beach.
Exactly.
Right. So she wouldn't even know werewolves exist.
If they started to like get close to each other, Jacob would want to tell her. So he would be like, he would do that whole thing in her room again. Remember, when he was like, he can't tell her, but he can like hint at things.
Blah blah blah. No, he wouldn't do that.
I think so.
Their relationship wouldn't even be solid. They'd have to start all over.
That's basically the end of the chapter, though. Like, that's really all there is. Like,
well, the end of the chapter is Isabella Swan.
Yeah,
and then she's basically like, "Okay, sorry, I gotta go. Bye.
It's trying to build up the next book. It says like my best friend counting me with his enemies. Victoria's still on the loose. If I didn't become a vampire soon, Volturi will come and kill me. It's just like basically this epilogue is like, hey, like this is like the issues, and you're gonna find out what happens to them in like the next book or whatever. So
And Edward's here, by the way.
And Edward's back. So I think the next book, it's got to be something. It's Victoria. It's building up too much. Like they built it up way too much in this book, and then they didn't do anything with it. So eventually, like Victoria has got to be in one of these books. So we'll see what happens.
Wouldn't it be great if she just doesn't show up?
Oh my gosh,
Ever?
I feel like that'd be something that she would totally do too. Like they just find Victoria's body like dead somewhere, and they're like, oh, well, I guess it ends that, and then like that's the end of the series. Like they
find
do
out that she
anything.
pissed off the Volturi when she was trying
Yeah.
to check Bella.
Exactly.
She went there and killed someone. She had no idea that the Volturi even existed. She's like, oh shoot, and then they kill her.
Yeah, it's gonna be something dumb. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know that we kind of missed that week there, so just happy you guys can support us and be back. Make sure to leave a review on iTunes, like our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. All those links are in the description. Just go check it out and just be involved in the community. All right.
We have a community. There is no community. It's all a lie.
There can be.
See? There can
there's a
be
train.
if you participate.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it. This has been Twilight Noobs. I'm Jason.
Merrick.
And I would vote no for her turning into a vampire.
I would
Team
vote
Jacob.
for a Snickers bar.